everybody. Well, I'm super happy to be here. First Tableau conference in Europe since 2019. I was there with you. It was in Berlin. It was very nice. Well, my name is Patrick Perrier. I'm the VP of Product at Wiiisdom. And today we'll talk about proactive analytics governance. And how do we do this? By building trust with certification. Now, certification sounds like this complicated thing, so it's a big process, and how we're going to happen, and, what do we have to click to put this in place? But we use certifications every day. If you just think before you go on Amazon to buy something, you'll check the score, right? You go to watch this new series on Netflix, you'll check if the reviews are good. You should watch the season 2 of The Diplomat, by the way, it's very good. And certifications is also when we talk about traveling, of course. I'll just speak to my colleague in the back of the room. I don't see my screens here. Now, a little bit about me is I love traveling a lot, and I travel a lot for business, which is great, and I travel personally as well. And I'll use the example of when I went to Istanbul 3 weeks ago, which is a great city, and I fully, again, recommend you go to Istanbul. Well, I needed a hotel and wanted to know what to do exactly, food and drinks. Turns out the Turkish wine is excellent. But what did I use to make the decisions of where to go and what to do? I used data, and data in form of certification, reviews by other people of, what I should be doing. And if something has 4.8 stars by 132,000 people, I should be in safe hands. But despite all this effort and doing the best by using the data and the reviews, there were a couple of that's funny, but I visited some things that I wasted my time, basically, and I'll come back to that. So the agenda for today, very simply, we'll talk about analytics governance. And despite that, I'm sure a lot of you put time and effort to do governance. Issues are still common, and I'll talk about 4 different kinds of issues. Now, how are we going to resolve these issues around governance? One thing we really believe in is to move from a reactive point of view to a proactive. So we'll talk about some tips on how to move from the Wild West to having wisdom with 1 and 3 eyes. We're wisdom with 3 eyes, but with wisdom. Which leads me back to certifying content, but certifying your analytics. So this is the how we'll do this. And then I'll do a short demo of our solutions. Now, you will recognize, I'm sure you'll identify with these 4 different kind of common issues with analytics, Tableau or any other analytics you've had in the past, Excel spreadsheets even, right? I'm a sales executive, I open this dashboard and I start questioning the numbers. I know this is not my margin. Or I'm an HR person, I know we don't have this amount of employees really in the company. I'm questioning the numbers. This is not good, the lack of adoption and other things. I'll come back to that. Or you have 2 dashboards and they're called sales and sales, and you open both of them and suddenly the totals are different. Maybe they're both right, maybe they're both wrong, maybe one of them only is right. But the point is, again, it leads to people questioning and having doubt. Now, nothing worse than a dashboard that does not open or opens very slowly. Again, if the user experience is bad, even if the numbers are right, this will lead to problems with adoption of all the hard work you've done. And finally, Gen AI. Now, I know it's a newer topic, but still, at Wiiisdom, we're not here to prove that Tableau is right or Pulse is right or the agents are all right. I'm sure they are right. But the problem is these agents and these AI, LLMs and all that, they need to connect to a source of data to then automatically, creating output. Now, if the data is wrong at the source, the AI will be wrong at the output as well. So all of these things will lead to the loss of trust. And if users don't trust your analytics, there is a lot of risk. Now, you're a salesperson, this can have impact on your financials, obviously. You'll make some decisions based on incorrect numbers. Or if you work in the regulated industries, this is one of the biggest sectors for us. Obviously, when you're regulated, you have to produce a lot of content for your regulators. And if you give wrong information, can have a lot of impact, of course. And there's a lot of, other risk and impact if users lack trust. And we've seen it. People will go back silos. They go back in spreadsheet. They're not adopting your product. A lot of time and effort for nothing when that's the case. Now, often people, we have a booth right there. Often people come to the booth and they say, oh, well, listen, my data is right. For 10, 15 plus years, we spend lots of time and money, and the ETL is fine, and my Tableau prep is fine, my warehouse or data mart, whatever, the data is right. So Tableau will automatically be right. Now, anybody's Tableau creators here? Yes, quite a few, good. Well, then you know what it is. You go in Tableau, connect to one source, maybe many, and then maybe you do some joins, maybe you customize the SQL, you create calculations, you have dozens of worksheets before you do the dashboards. All these little different elements can create problems. And think about it. At the end of the day, users don't talk to your warehouse. Users talk to Tableau. They use Tableau to make the best decisions and then take action. So if Tableau is wrong, but the data is right, it doesn't matter. Everything has to be right. This is what we call the last mile, the last kilometers, being a European event. Yes, you need to make sure that what you do in Tableau continues to be right. And you want to do this proactively and continuously. And this is what leads me to the second part of this presentation, how to move from a Wild West of having users detecting problems before you. And again, I think you'll identify with that. You build this new workbook, you test it, you like the performance, the filters are good, the data is right, you go to production, and then you move to the next one, right? Now, you have dozens, I'm sure, of dashboards in production which are critical for the business, but you're not going to continuously monitor them all the time, test them all the time, not manually anyway. What's going to happen is users will detect the problems before you. And this is where you start back to the trust and the adoptions and people not being happy. The idea is to go proactive. And to go proactive, it means what? You have systems in place that will automatically detect when there's a problem by dashboards not opening too slowly, the data being incorrect or incomplete, out of date, user experience being incorrect, filters not doing what they're supposed to do. Detect the problem first. And when you detect the problem, inform the end users. And I'll come back to that. Inform the end users, there's a problem with this thing right now, you should not be using it. Wait a bit, or find out what's going on. At the same time, inform the data leaders, the owners of the content, to say, hey, there's a problem with the data source or the extract or the dashboard, whatever it is. There's a problem. It needs to be fixed. And with any luck, you'll find out before the end users go and consume it for the first time. But anyway, at least everybody is informed. Your auditors, again, regulated industries, your auditors will be happy. You can demonstrate you have a process of governance, a process of we are checking continuously and regularly. And then when we identify a problem, people are notified and actions are taken. And of course, everybody else will be very happy with that. Now, going back to the traveling and the Amazon and the Netflix, what if your business users could visually and by themselves verify that the content can be trusted? So imagine a world where, just like traveling, before I book my hotel, my restaurant, and all that, I can look and find out if things are correct. These same end users could tell with their analytics, things are certified, and not things were working when it was put in production 3 months ago. At 11th of November, at 6 a.m. this morning, I certified the content. I'm an end user and said, well, it was tested this morning. I get, it should be fine versus something certified a long time ago. And again, I'll come back to that. But this this is the message here, is to move to improving the customer experience by removing any sense of doubt. Hence the certification. Now, this is a true story here. When I went to Istanbul, every guide I could find, like spend 3 days in Istanbul and, things to visit, top 9 things to visit, every guide said to go and visit these stairs. And I thought, wow, that looks amazing. Reminds me of San Francisco. They look super cute. Oh, we have to take a ferry to go there or a long tram. But no, it looks so pretty. Let's go and visit it. So we went, we took the boat, and it was not a nice day. We took the boat to see those stairs. And this is how it looked like, for real. And we're like, oh, can't believe we came all this way here for looking really ugly like this. But it was really ugly. Don't go to Istanbul, but don't go see the stairs. Now, if only I checked the reviews by somebody who's reputable, how many scores here? 200 reviews, 500 pictures, and the guy gave it a week ago. It's not worth it. Here's what it looks like for real. Now, this is Google Maps 4.4. Now, you know what? Maybe 10 years ago it looked like that. On a sunny day, I'm sure there's no Instagram filters, cheat anywhere. But the point is here, as an end user, if I looked at a recent review, I would have known, not today, maybe 5 years ago, but not today. And this is the point with analytics. So at Wiiisdom, we have solutions which are no code, very easy to use, where we support Tableau customers to do exactly that. Automatically validate your content, promote between environments, and certify at scale. This is the at scale here. If you only have 2-3 dashboards, maybe you can do this manually and have a process in place. But if you have dozens or hundreds, this is where it's not possible. And the idea is to catch errors before the end users. That's the reactive bit here. Proactive especially, certainly not reactive. And remove trust issues. Build trust in your analytics data and your analytics. And version control is a big part of this, something we just released. So now, at Wiiisdom, we are patent pending on this exact technology of automatically and dynamically certifying your analytics content by adding a visual component. And I'll do a live demonstration to you in just a minute. Now, for those of you who trust the words of Gartner, even Gartner have been talking about this for the last few months. We've been quite proud to be added to the Gartner hype cycle actually around analytics governance. And yes, implement watermarking or anything to indicate to the end users a self-service. This is what the beauty of Tableau. Users should be able to do whatever they want when they want it, but with trust and confidence. And let them make sure that things are certified. Now, before I go to the demo, which is next slide. At TC, I was fortunate to present at TC back in San Diego. And one of my early slides in the presentation was this here. Would you bet, anybody here, would you bet your job, your reputation, or your company on the decision made with analytics you have today? How many would do that? Oh, well, no. I see some laugh. You would? Yeah, but that's because I don't know which company you work for. No, I know him, so I'm joking. But the answer should be yes. You spend a lot of time and effort and money on your data layer, the analytics layer. You want things to work. You want your company to be successful. But yet, if it came down to it, you wouldn't say, okay, no, there's no way I'm betting my job on this. Well, if you had automated governance, your content was certified, and you knew that 1 hour ago it was right, why wouldn't you? You could always say, well, I'll bet my job as of the status of an hour ago, but not maybe as something we put in production 6 months ago. So that's the idea here. All right, let me go to, it's my screen. Excellent, good. So let's go to Tableau first of all. All right, so I'm in Tableau and I have this dashboard right here. Now, I'm an end user. I open this and I need to, whatever, make some decisions. That's what my job is. And I look at this, and now this is just an example. This can be formatted in a number of ways. But imagine if I saw this here. The last test was this morning at 8:49 in the morning, not certified. I am not using this. That's it. I'm not using this. Now, there could be better messages in terms of contact Bob because he's the one in charge, the data owner or something like that. But no, I am not using this. But now, thankfully, when Wiiisdom detected that problem and went ahead and decertified that dashboard, just in case anybody wants to use it before the problem is fixed, we went ahead and we notified people to resolve the problem. So we contacted Berend. Berend's right here. And then Berend did his magic in the back, and Berend said, good, fix the problem. Let's go back and let's ask Wiiisdom to recertify this thing. So this is our product. There's a number of validation steps, but don't pay attention to that. I can do a live demo if you come to see us at the booth. But the point is, I'm running really a real test now where Wiiisdom will go ahead. Is the dashboard really opening? Is the data right and the filters and all that? And when the test finishes, if it finishes successfully, this is where we'll go ahead and recertify the content. So that is the dynamic part of it. We know that Tableau has features to certify or decertify data sources, but it's manual. There's no way to certify or decertify dashboards, which is why we created this Tableau extension, or there's other ways to make that happen. All right, so here we go. So the test is finished now. I'll just, it says, okay, I'll just wait one more second. Okay, here we go, perfect. So if I press F5 right here, now that the test was successful, thank you, Berend, for fixing the problem. Now this dashboard is back with certified right now, and users go ahead and consume that content and do whatever it is. But don't hesitate to bet your job on it, right? So, so that's the idea. So with Wiiisdom, add a visual component in your dashboard, in your portals. We have a lot of other ways. If you wanted to certify or decertify data sources, you could do that as well. Now, Tableau has a built-in feature for this, which is really nice. So you could go ahead and even certify or decertify. 1st of February. Am I happy that the last time this was certified is 10 months ago or 9 months ago, whatever? Probably not. So this is the thing here. Yes, there's a feature, but if it becomes stale, how long will it take for something certified to have a problem? And now you stop even trusting the certification label. So the dynamic aspect of it and automatic is super important. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you regarding certification. The second thing I want to show you is something which is brand new. Oh, why is Tony messaging me during my presentation at TC? That's my fault. Now, which is version control. Now, part of governance is, yes, validate your content between your environments, certify your content, but then what about versions? What about having an unlimited history of versions? What about I want to see what a specific version looked like 3 years ago? Because again, in my regulated industries, I can be asked that question at any time. What if I publish something wrong and I want to roll it back? All these capabilities exist partly in Tableau with the revision management, but it has limitations in numbers, quantities. You can delete versions. Again, in regulated industries, deleted versions would not be an accepted things. So what we've done with Wiiisdom is added, and again, no code, the ability to automatically scan your sites and do versionings automatically for you. So I have several scanners because I have access to several sites. But you see here, I have my development environment where I'm scanning my full site, and I have my prod environment where I'm scanning only some projects, not all of them, full flexibility. And then what happens is that when I connect to the versioning system, so this is Tableau Cloud again, but unlimited amount of versions, and I go to product, you see that on my Tableau Cloud, I have, for this document here, a good, I don't know, 30, 35 different versions here. If I go in Tableau Cloud right here, the same content, product and release, and over here, revision of history, 28, it turns out. So 28, but I can go only all the way back to 19. So this is something that Wiiisdom has been selected by Tableau to build. So Tableau opt to not expand on these capabilities of revision management, but they wanted a partner to work on version control. So we've been selected by Tableau to work on these capabilities. And the idea is unlimited versionings, complete audit trail, ability to preview, roll back, and compare differences between versions. And that's what we've done here. At any moment in time, back in August, when it was my first version, well, this is what this workbook, this dashboard, looked like back in August. And each worksheet, obviously. So I can go ahead and I can preview all the different versions. And now, oh, there was a bad release at some point in whatever, 24th of September. What happened? And this is where I can start doing different comparisons between versions. And you see here an example of a visual comparison. Here we go. I can see, oh, okay, well, that was my beta version. And now I have Tableau Tim. I did a presentation to Tableau Tim the other day. So here we go, Tableau Tim. There's difference in the title. The data's different. Filtering, so ship mode is all, but before in my bad release, ship mode was, I forgot to reset my filter. So again, visual comparisons, and at any time, I could select to restore this version and it becomes the live version again in Tableau. So all this, not a line of code. People who know Git know checkout, check-in, merge, pull request. Again, you save a new workbook or you update an existing workbook, Wiiisdom will say, oh, I'm detecting this, and then you have a new versions and you have all of these capabilities. So we released that a month ago. Tons of things will happen in 2025.